Let's begin with the first one, product testing. If you've got a couple of conditioners and you want to find out what the best one is for your hair that not only feels nice when you use it, when you apply them, but also help you detangle your hair, here's what I want you to try. Take your conditioners, deep conditioners, and divide your hair into the same number of sections. Apply a product to each section and detangle as normal. Then assess each section. Say one conditioner, another one, and then another one in the back. Assess it for slip, for weight and hang time that stretches your hair, that gives you that ease to detangle. For detangling time, how long does it take to detangle each section? Everything. You'll find out quickly which ones do not work for your hair versus which ones do. You can also do this with stylers. You can test different leave-ins or leave-in and gel combos across different sections, especially if you're doing a wash and go. Let them dry and look for hold, for flaking, for shrinkage, for feel. Building on that, let's talk about time-based detangling. Get yourself a timer that you can put in the bathroom. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes per section or per quadrant and see how long it takes for you to finish that quadrant. If something takes too long, it's either not the right product or not enough of the product or not the right tool, or you've gone too long, between wash days. Maybe a pre-poo could have helped this wash day, or maybe your sections need to be smaller. That is data. Now you know how long it takes to detangle your hair. Track this over a few wash days to give you that personal detangling time. You start choosing products and, more importantly, habits that make you more efficient on wash day and not just hopeful every wash day and surprised. The third shift is to plan wash day around your life. If you're trying to wash your hair on the same day you've got errands, you've got a sick baby, a paper due, or back-to-back meetings, of course you will burn out. Instead, choose a wash day rhythm that actually serves your life. Maybe that's every 7 days, maybe that's every month. Instead of doing everything in a hurry, pre-section your hair if you can the night before. Lay out your products and your tools, and if life gets in the way, break wash day into 2 days or into 2 parts. Detangle on Saturday and wash your hair on Sunday. Wash day doesn't have to be one long epic battle. Just plan ahead of time. Hack number 4 is what I call the wash day timeline anchoring. Here's what happens to most of us. We start around 11 o'clock. We say, okay, we're going to wash our hair today. Then we get distracted and then we eat. We scroll a bit. We pick up a phone call. It's 3 p.m. before you know what's happening and the day's done and now we're mad. That's Parkinson's law in motion. Work expands to fill the time that we give it. Instead, give yourself a realistic anchored timeline. Something like 20 minutes to pre-poo my hair, 40 minutes to shampoo and condition and detangle, and 60 minutes to style my hair. You can build a wash day playlist that matches each phase. Over time, your brain will start to follow these cues, these rhythms, and you'll spend less time pausing and being distracted and more time finishing your hair and carrying on with your day. No more all-day marathons. If your hair is taking all day long, this is not a good thing. For the most important one, the no rewash protocol. Not every wash day ends as expected. Sometimes the twist out flops, the curls frizz, the shrinkage completely takes over and turns our hair into a mushroom, or the new style we're trying to learn doesn't come out right after watching dozens of tutorials. But rewashing your hair is not the answer. That extra manipulation, that extra shampoo cycle can actually cause more damage, and emotionally it tells your brain that imperfection is failure. Instead, build a plan B. For example, if your wash and go shrinks way too much, throw it into a bun or a puff and call it a day. If your twist out falls flat, tuck it into a bun and accessorize it. Keep your scarves and your pins and your clips nearby and ready to go on days that you need them. Rotate your products. Your hair isn't just one type. It's a cycle. Your sebum levels change over time throughout the month. The weather changes, our moods change, your water hardness may shift depending on where you live. When your hair starts acting different, you may think that your favorite product stopped working. Most of the time, it didn't really stop working. It's just likely that your context has changed. That's why I recommend identifying 2 to 3 product combos that worked at different times in your life. Then rotate them on purpose. If for nothing, just to enjoy your product rotation and enjoy using and trying something new every so often. Use one when it is dry, when it is humid, use another one. Just label them in your drawers so that you know which is which and which works best for what season. Next, reverse styling prep. Most people start from wet hair and think, oh, let's see what happens when they're done washing their hair, when they're done shampooing and conditioning. Start with the end state in mind so that you're not wondering, what do I do with my hair every wash day? It aligns with your prep, it aligns with your purpose, and that's the difference between hair that feels like work and hair that works for you, that accessorizes you, and hair that you like to wear. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.